At the memorial for Charlie Kirk, President Trump said, quote, "I hate my opponents and I don't want the best for them." This was reported in the Times and every place else. The line came minutes after Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, urged forgiveness for her husband's killer, saying, quote, "The answer to hate is not hate. The answer is love." Trump then said he disagreed with her. Always a class act, disagreeing with the widow and trying to inject hateful ideas in the middle of a memorial service. Senior advisor Stephen Miller amplified the message, addressing opponents. You are nothing. You build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. He also described Democrats as a domestic extremist organization. Now, historians note that no modern U.S. president has declared hatred for domestic political rivals in a national moment of mourning. That takes the cake. By contrast, Barack Obama said in 2004, this is not a liberal America and a conservative America. This is the United States of America. We're not blue states, red states. We are American states. As Ronald Reagan said when trying to unify the country, we are a shining city upon a hill. So past presidents, regardless of what party, tried to tamper down strong emotions, hatreds, things that lead to violence. Here you have a president openly say, "I hate my opponent." What's the real message here? When President Trump says, "I hate my opponents," he's being honest, he's being truthful, he's also being uniquely un-American. That's not what presidents of any party have done before, especially in a time of crisis and potential healing. It's utterly despicable, and it shows us who the real man is. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Now, Stephen Miller, by most accounts, is really the most powerful member of this administration. It's not J.D. Vance. It's not the wife of the president. It is this guy, Stephen Miller, who seems to have his finger in every pie in this administration and seems to be the guy who's really pushing this hatred of immigrants, of migrants, of foreigners, of non-English speaking people. But to me, the rhetoric that I just shared with you is really most important of what he's trying to do. He's saying, if you're an opponent of ours, you create nothing. Let's dissect that. So Stephen Miller, who grew up in California, is no fan of California because it's run by liberals and Democrats and progressive people who believe in DEI. They're evil. So he's saying people like that produce nothing, create nothing. Let's stop and really analyze that. When you look at the economy produced by California, it's pretty big, $5.2 trillion. Let me say that again, not billion dollars, $5.2 trillion. Are there any red states that produce that much every year? No. Here's the fascinating thing. You could put together 21 red states, lump together every single thing they create, every product, every service, every dollar that they get in exchange for in the course of the year. And it adds up to $4.87 trillion. That's right. 23 red states do not produce as much as one blue state, California. Is California perfect? No. Have their housing prices gone crazy? Yes. But for Stephen Miller to contend that anyone who disagrees with him, any opponent, any state that isn't in lockstep with Trump is nothing, creates nothing. I mean, that's just absolute, utter absurdity. That's not even the most troubling thing he says. It's the combination of when he says, "You are nothing." It's the dehumanization of an opponent. It's one thing if you're in a world war and you are fighting Nazis across the planet on the other side, another continent. It's another thing when you're talking about your fellow citizen, you're nothing. Now, here's the part that intrigued me the most that I've been talking about on this show. I have not heard many other commentators picking up this theme, but we're going to hear more of it. What Stephen Miller said at a memorial is he described Democrats as a domestic extremist organization. So if you're a member of the Democratic Party, you are a member of a domestic extremist organization. That is not the opinion of some random kook in his pajamas in his mother's basement putting out a tweet read by 2 followers. These are words coming out of the mouth of, by many accounts, the most powerful advisor to the most powerful person in the entire world. So that's why it has to be looked at seriously. Now, I said earlier this week, I'm going to say it again. I predict, and I hope I'm wrong, I predict that within the next 6 months, this administration connects the dots of what they're laying right here. Anyone who opposes us is nothing. Democrat opposes us, they're nothing. You people are nothing if you oppose us. And if you're a Democrat, you're an extremist organization. Well, if you're an extremist organization, why don't we outlaw you? That's the next logical step. So yes, my friends, I'm saying it again. We are 6 months away or less from the Democratic Party in the United States being officially labeled a terrorist organization and therefore being outlawed. So sure, we'll have elections in 2026. By all means, if you want to run against an incumbent Republican, you could do so. You'll just have to do so as a member of the Green Party or the Tory Party or the Whig Party or the I don't like orange pancake makeup party. You can do that. And maybe we have 100 candidates running. But if you outlaw the only other dominant party, guess who wins? Those already in power. So this is the trick autocrats do all the time. They don't officially cancel elections. They say, oh, of course we'll have elections. We believe in fair and free elections. Putin does it. Orban does it. They all do it. But if you systematically eliminate your main opposition by either outlawing the party or disappearing certain political leaders of the party that is your biggest adversary, it gets pretty easy to win. It gets really easy to win. If I run a competition, if I enter the competition for man with the best head of hair in the world, and I simply prevent anyone from entering the contest who isn't a 100% ball, well, guess what? I can win that election. But without me putting my finger on the scale that way, I'm not going to win. So this is indeed troubling, which is one reason why I was so happy to see the news within the last 24 hours of Jimmy Kimmel being reinstated in his position as late night talk show host, and he's supposed to go on the air tonight. So Charlie Kirk, again, I don't know the woman, didn't follow her, but she says the answer to hate is love. Maybe, I realize this is a crazy idea, maybe we give the widow the final word when it comes to a memorial about her own husband.